What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down some of the tough catches that wide receivers have to make and some of the catches that give wide receivers the most trouble that lead to the most drops. So I hope this video helps you guys out. I hope we could teach you a few new things. But also, fellas, if you're a wide receiver and you would like a daily route running training schedule with all the things you should be doing on the field to improve your route running, your press releases, the works, check out that very first link in the description below for our 8-week wide receiver on-field workout schedule. It's a full 2-month-long daily schedule with the exact sets, reps, and video examples of each workout that you should do for your route running. So very first link below, fellas, if you're interested. Let's get started with this video. So the first catch we're going to be talking about is a low pass. So we get a question on this a lot. How can I catch passes that are low, diving catches? What are some of the most important things that I have to do? Now, honestly, on any tough catch, whether that's a jump ball, back shoulder, whatever, your eyes are number one. You have to catch this ball with your eyes first before you catch this thing with your hands. Now, when Pickens makes this catch, obviously this is an extremely tough catch. And this is kind of like if you were, let's say you're a wide receiver coach and you're coaching up a younger kid and that ball is thrown low like this, you probably wouldn't teach him to catch like this. You probably would not teach him to have his hand like over the top, almost in that like diamond shape, if you will. You would probably tell him to flip his hands and say like, oh, you want to have your pinkies connected. When the ball is low, when it's below your waist, I guess you can say, you want to flip your hands and catch that way. Now, personally, I would teach the exact same thing. I find it when wide receivers are catching a low pass and they catch the ball like how Pickens does, they tend to push this thing down. They almost push it away from themselves, and that can lead to a drop. So I have them flip their hands. I will tell them to flip their hands to where this hand is on the bottom, that hand is more so on the top, almost like they're catching almost like they're feeling the ground ball, if you will. And then when they flip their hands like that, it allows them to kind of receive the ball more rather than to push the ball away. Now, Pickens is able to make this catch because he has incredible grip strength, as you all probably know. The guy does not drop the ball. You can throw the ball anywhere, and this guy's going to come down with it. So that's another reason why making these tough catches has everything to do with your eyes, but also a whole lot to do with your grip strength. Now, how can you improve your grip strength? That's something that, some guys might be born with, smaller hands. Some guys might just have a weaker grip naturally. What are some things that you could do to make sure that you improve on this? So do an exercise like fingertip push-ups, where you do push-ups, you're just pretty much on your fingertips. You hold a push-up plank in your fingertips. You're just holding that position. You're doing a farmer's carry, where you carry 2 heavy dumbbells and you just walk, doing pull-ups. Anything that's going to make your grip stronger will help you with this specific scenario. And then obviously taking that photo with your eyes. When it hits your hands, the only thing in your line of vision is going to be that football. So for low passes, fellas, I recommend flipping the hands. If there's a situation where you can't flip your hands, you have to make sure that we don't push the ball away. Let's secure this thing, catch with a strong grip, and take that photo with my eyes. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time, then we will get to the next catch that gives guys a lot of trouble. So now, next catch we're going to be talking about here is a catch in traffic. So we're looking at this clip here from Garrett Wilson. Now, he's catching this slant ball. Now, this is kind of everybody's worst nightmare over the middle, is like a late slant. You got a linebacker coming over the middle. Maybe not necessarily a late slant. If he throws it a step like a second later, then yeah, that's probably a late slant, and that guy's going to probably get cracked. But everybody's biggest nightmare is this catch in traffic over the middle, because they're afraid to get just absolutely popped by this linebacker. Ball's going to get knocked out. So we see when Garrett Wilson makes this catch. How many of you guys have probably been told, hey, don't catch with your body, you want to catch with your hands? On Thanksgiving, when we're watching the football games, I forget which game it was. I want to say it was Dallas versus New York. And Greg Olsen was talking about, hey, it's nice to see wide receivers start catching with their hands. He was referring to all the examples of wide receivers doing this type of a catch that you see, and he's saying that teaches younger guys to catch with their body. Now, the only reason that Garrett Wilson makes this catch, if he's in open space and this ball is like, let's say he's got maybe like 2 yards from this DB and there's no linebacker coming over the middle and that ball's thrown, he's probably going to catch it with his hands. But the only reason he catches this ball with his body is because he is in traffic. Now, I'm not trying to teach you guys that, hey, every time you catch a pass, you should be catching it right on your shoulder or your chest plate like this and letting it get into your frame, because a lot of times guys will do this and it'll bounce right off of their chest plate. You want to do this because only when you're in traffic, I would say. Now, there's a way to do this without having to let it get into your frame and bounce off of your chest plate, and that's about having late hands. So late hands, what I mean by that is exactly how it sounds. You want to show your hands late. So when you have a guy coming over the middle, if you're extending out, and let's say that ball was thrown, but Garrett Wilson is extending his arms to the ball. Now, when you extend your arms to the ball and you have essentially early hands, what do you think this DB is going to do? He's probably going to rip through your hands. You're giving him a perfect target as to where he could play those hands and shoot a hand through that kind of like gap, that like diamond shape that you're holding. And not to mention, if you extend your arms out and this guy makes a hit on you, that ball is probably going to be knocked out. So that's the reason why he's catching this thing off his chest. Now, I don't necessarily need this. Maybe if I catch it with my hands, but I keep my hands a little bit tighter to my frame, and then I put that ball away violently to the tuck, it's going to be the same idea. We just don't want to extend and reach out for the ball, especially when I'm in traffic, because that's a great way for a DB or a linebacker to get a PBU. So these tough catches in traffic, fellas, just make sure that we are late with my hands. We do not by any means have to catch with my chest. We could catch with my hands all day long. If you're comfortable catching with the chest, fine by me. I'm not teaching you to do that. But again, it's a great way to make sure that you secure that ball over the middle when it's tight. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Wilson getting separation with the release and then finishing by having laid hands over the middle. So now we're looking at this catcher from David Njoku, and he's making this one-handed grab. Now, this is an absolutely insane catch. Ball's thrown high. He's got a linebacker grabbing on his inside arm. He can't get two hands up. This is the exact situation of why you want to work on one-handed catches. Now, I'm sure all of you, career wide receivers, maybe some of your old wide receivers who used to play or just listen to this video, maybe you coach it or maybe you have a son that plays. You probably heard the expression like, hey, catch it with two before you get one. Don't catch with one hand. Everybody gets discouraged. People will discourage you if you try to catch the ball with one hand. And most of the time, they're probably right on the money for doing that. But I think there is a time and a place to where you can work on this specific catch for this scenario. Right, to be a wide receiver, to stand out. I know most of you guys are, high school wide receivers, youth wide receivers, some of you college wide receivers, and to stand out to a coach at the next level, to impress the coach of the team that you're currently on, you have to make explosive highlight reel type plays. And you have to make plays that we don't expect you to make. Everybody would probably be okay if Njoku didn't make this catch because the ball was thrown high. He's got a guy grabbing on his inside arm. If he didn't make this catch, everybody would probably be like, oh, well, he would have caught that if this guy wasn't pulling on his arm. But fellas, to stand out, especially like if you're a guy trying to play college football, this type of play on your highlight tape is huge for the recruiting process for you, because a college coach sees this and he's like, oh, okay, I got a playmaker. So you need to work on these one-handed catches. I'm not saying make it a part of like your every route that you run, you should catch one-handed. But when you're warming up with a quarterback, like maybe he's throwing to you, you're about to do a throwing workout, you catch like maybe 15 throws right on, then you do 15 one-hands with the right hand, 15 one-hands with the left hand until that quarterback's warm. But you work on catching one-handed passes. So if you're thrown in this situation, we're at least somewhat comfortable. And now, again, ties into the very first thing that we talked about. The only way you're making this catch is obviously if we look this thing in the best we can, and you need to make sure that you have a strong grip. So those fingertip push-ups, those farmer's carries, those plate flips. You take a weighted plate, you flip it end over end, and you catch it. It's just anything to make that grip, that forearm, and that hand stronger will help you in this scenario. So fellas, you definitely want to practice one-handed catches for this situation as well. Fight through a pass interference, somebody's grabbing on your arm. Just make sure we can be a playmaker. All right, fellas, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. Always appreciate the feedback. It's always great to hear from you guys as usual. And again, fellas, if you would like a full 2-month wide receiver on-field workout schedule to improve your route running, your press releases, and your hands, check out that very first link in the description below. I'll see you guys next time.